Hello and welcome. My name is Keating. I'm the co-founder and CEO of XLABS Global. Now in this Experience Bites, I'm going to teach you what an XLA is. So an XLA, or an Experience Level Agreement, is a commitment to deliver a predefined experience. Now that predefined experience is documented in what we call an experience ambition. The experience ambition is a short sentence, a couple of sentences, a short paragraph that describes the experience we need to provide for our customers, and it's typically based on two things. The outcome, so the outcomes people need from your product or your service, and moments that matter along the journey as well. We need both to make sure the experience is good. Now, all parties involved in delivering that particular experience have to sign up to that ambition. They have to agree to that ambition. They have to agree to deliver those outcomes, and they have to agree to deliver those moments that matter. So we call this a joint commitment across all parties. Now, once we've got to that level, and we've documented the experience that we want to give people, we have our experience ambition, that's where the XLA kicks in. The XLA is the agreement to deliver that. So we're going to deliver that with, and we're going to measure that with XIs, experience indicators. And there are typically three XIs, X data, O data, and T data. Now, the most important XI is going to be X data. That's sentiment. That's how people feel about whether they're getting that ambition, whether they're getting those outcomes, whether they're getting those moments that matter. You cannot have an XLA without X data being measured. Experience is how people feel, so we need to make sure we measure how people feel. But depending on the XLA you have, you'll then start measuring things like operational data. How well did you deliver that service? Or T data, how well did that technology perform? Because they will give you insights into why people feel the way they do. But let's just focus on X data for a moment, because this is the most important structure within an XLA, how to measure X data. So we need to think about the best ways to do that. Now, if our ambition, as you can see on the screen here, is to have people happily productive with their mobile phones, then we could ask several different questions about how they feel about them. One of which might just be, how do you feel about your mobile phone? But the problem when we ask such a high-level question is that you're going to get a high-level answer. And that might not be enough for us to understand what people really feel so we can go away and fix things. Now, because of the work that we've done before we've even got to this structure, we've understood outcomes and moments that matter. And in this case, we know the outcome people want is to be happily productive, and we know the moments that matter for them are having a good battery life, a good charging time, and the ability to read their display outside. So rather than asking that generic question, we want to ask these sub-questions, which is, how do you feel about your battery life? Please rate the charging time. How well can you read the display outside? Because that informs us at the detail level of what people like and what they don't like, so we can start fixing the problems at source. We know what's good, we know what they don't like, we know where they've got experience friction, and we can start solving this. So that's the best way to gather sentiment as part of an XLA structure. So what I want you to remember is that XLAs are an agreement to deliver a predefined experience. It's a joint commitment across all parties. You cannot have an XLA without sentiment. You will also try and find O data and T data where possible. But when you're measuring sentiment, we're going to try and do that in the best way possible and at this detail level so we can understand what people like and what they don't like, so we can start removing friction and enable them to achieve the outcomes they need. Now, I hope this has been useful, and I look forward to seeing you on another Experience Bites.